Well, good evening, this is Houndog Steve, wishing you a very pleasant evening. And, well, I had the surgery done. I was into the hospital yesterday. I got a call yesterday afternoon, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, saying they had an opening. So I did the 2-hour dash down to Peterborough, and a friend of mine dropped me off at the hospital, had the operation at 7 o'clock, and I was out at 8 o'clock. So I now have 4 fingers immobilized and 2 pins in the back of the hand here to hold that bone in place whilst it's repairing, and this is going to be on for 6 weeks. Wow, it's going to be t-shirt and track pants. Everything is awkward. I've got to go out and do a little shopping to buy some very easy to prepare food. I can't even open a can. I have my thumb, which I can use as a hook to pull up my pants, my track pants with, and pull on my socks with. But as far as actually holding anything, yeah, that's going to be an interesting 6 weeks. Thankfully, the outdoor furnace will be going off in the next 2-3 weeks, sometime like that. So I won't be humping around those great big heavy logs one-handed. And I got some friends coming over to help with the gardening. The potatoes are going in this weekend, and peas are already in. I got some seedlings started, and so I've tried to divide up the chores amongst a whole bunch of people, so everyone just does a little bit. And maybe this is actually an interesting time to talk about volunteerism, because I've sat on many committees who have tried to get volunteers to help out in particular situations. And one of the things that I actually learned on a course about volunteering is that rather than putting out a blanket call for help from people, it is far better to decide the job that you have to do, decide how many people you are going to need to get that job done, and then contact, like if it's 3 people, you contact those 3 people independently. Give them a phone call, give them an email, and ask them directly to give you a hand. You know, when you put out a blanket call, it's not really quite clear. You know, it's just a clarion call and you hope people will get back to you. But we found we had a lot more success with getting people to help out and volunteer by that little bit of direct contact, face-to-face contact. It's a little warmer, and yes, and don't overload people. That's the other big thing. That's why I've broken it up into small chores and get the right amount of people to get that particular chore done. And hopefully we will get everything that we needed done for the springtime over the next 6 weeks. And I will bump around and try and get my own personal stuff done. I'll be checking in to see if there's any kind of home care help available. And of course, it does remind me, you know, a lot of people talk about socialistic medicine and Canada being very socialist. However, you know, when I think about how this would have worked out if I was in the United States of America, the cost for this, now it would probably been done a lot more quickly, but there would have been a heavy expense attached to this. And well, there are some aspects of community which I appreciate. And, you know, I mean, insurance is a lot like this, right? You know, when you think about insurance, many people are contributing, not knowing whether they're going to have an insurance claim themselves personally, but knowing that it's possible. And that pool of money will be used to help someone who is unfortunate enough, like myself, to find myself in the kind of situation where I do need a little bit of help. Yes, I think I'm in favor of socialized medicine. I think it could be a little less, well, actually, I mean, you know, coming into contact with the healthcare system is kind of interesting, because, you know, you see how it's been changed, because I haven't had really direct contact with the healthcare system for a number of years, and I'm noticing now that each department is very compartmentalized. The surgeon has his job, the surgeon's secretary has her job, the nurse has her job, and although there is an interphase line between those jobs, there isn't a great deal of communication. You know, for example, I got some painkillers, some antibiotics from the pharmacy. okay, well, I can't open a press and turn top. So who thought about that? How am I going to deal with that situation? So, it was with great difficulty I jammed the container in a drawer, and I cracked the container, but I finally did get the top off. But stuff like that was, I would have thought somebody might have sort of commented that you're not going to be able to open that. I'll tell you what, we've got a different kind of flip top that we can give for people in your situation. Little things like that. The secretary who called me yesterday to say that I was having the operation gave me some information today and asked me if I had a pen handy. And, of course, I can't write too well at the moment with my right hand. And so, she wouldn't send me a text and she wouldn't send me an email. She sent me a voicemail message. So little things like that, I'm kind of finding that this could be, a little more communication between departments, a little bit more understanding as to what it's actually like, to go through this situation. So, maybe in the future, the healthcare system could think of some kind of an advocate. Am I entitled to some kind of home care help? Is there a visiting nurse that can come in and check on my hand? Things like that might be handy. But, when you came in my store for a haircut, if I saw that you were in this kind of situation, I would be at the coat rack before you to grab that coat and to give you a hand on. Or if somebody had a wheelchair or a walker, I wouldn't wait to watch them struggle at the door. I would try and anticipate that, and I would be at the door before them holding it open, because I know that that's what needed to happen to facilitate this particular situation. And so it's kind of surprising to me that we've lost that ability to kind of foresee the needs of a situation, to anticipate them, and to be ahead of that curve a little bit, rather than waiting and watching someone struggle, for 5 minutes trying to open the door or put their coat on, and then deciding that maybe they need a little help, and maybe you're the person to offer that help. So I'm hoping that that will change in the future. But other than that, the treatment was excellent, the surgery was excellent, the nurses were wonderful. Peterborough Hospital in general is a wonderful hospital. I've had very good experiences there, and I'm certainly glad that it was there this time, and I had a well-qualified surgeon to do the job. It really does, like I say, remind you, I'm going to harp on this, but how easily things can happen. So all of my note to selves moments have included the word safety right up the front, and but how easily your life can change, in the blink of an eye, and how important your friends are, how important community is, how important teamwork is, and thanking God, that those are there and accessible to me at this particular time. So I humbly thank everybody who is helping me right now and who is about to help me. I thank the surgeon and the nurses in the hospital. I give them all blessings for the great work that they did on my hand. And although last 700 days have been kind of questionable, yes, I will bring that up. It's at times like this. They did their job and they stood up when it was time to be counted. So I am humbly grateful for that, and also to you, my viewers, for following me through all of this, and I hope you never find yourself in these kind of circumstances. So thank you very much for viewing. Just a quick update, and so this is Houndog Steve signing off, wishing you a very pleasant evening, and we'll talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.